Welcome. We're going to start the shield design today, and I will be demonstrating how we weave back, turn the corner, weave right to left, left to right, turn the corner, and so forth. Now I'm going to be Z-twining because that's what I do. But I know that there are people that want to follow along that are used to the S-twining and they want to continue that S-twining. They don't want to confuse anything. So I will demonstrate the S-twining also briefly, but basically I'm going to do the Z-twining. And if you have the Chilkat book, then you can refer to that and those illustrations. They're excellent illustrations in that book. It's almost a how-to book, really. So I would look into that. And but those are Z illustrations, because like I said, Cheryl Samuels, when she was doing the research for that Chilkat book, she spent some time interviewing Jenny Clunault, and but then, like I said, she adjusted her twines to accommodate the S-twisted commercial wefts that she was using and we are using. So, but because I'm basically have moved up to be a Naaxiin weaver, the Naaxiin weaving areas are shorter. You know, we can work back and forth within a color area, where the Raven's tail weavers weave all the way across their garment. So then there's more of a chance to unravel that S-twisted twine. But for me, taking consideration, trying not to untwist the S-twisted twine, I do Z-twine. It just feels better to me, more natural. But if in your case, if you continue twining the S-twist, if you are Z-twisting and want to start doing that and then refer to the book, that's good, because all her illustrations on the twining are for Z-twining, except for the, like I had mentioned, the 3-strand twine. So when you get to the 3-strand twine illustrations, then put a mirror up to her illustrations in that book, and then you'll get what she does now to counteract that S-twine zippy, messy look that if you handled it the ancestors' way with S-twisted weft, you get a messy look. But if you handle it, put the mirror up and you handle it her way with the S-twisted weft, then you're not going to get that messy, zingy, zippy, messy, sloppy kind of look to your braids, but you'll get a nice patterned look if you adjust your braiding from the ancestors' braiding. And like I say, it's as simple as putting a mirror up to those illustrations to take a look at how to do that adjusted 3-strand so that you get a really nice look to your 3 strands. So anyway, the first step that you're going to do with this project is you've hung it, you've had the first row that was simply across the top and tied off, and then you had the second row, which was a 3-strand, and that it's got side wefts that are going to turn the corner and become vertical braids. And then you might have also a colored pattern 3-strand, and it will, I asked you to make it a Naaxiin braid, and it will also have the ends that will turn the corner and become the vertical braids. So, and now we're going to start the with the yarn that is the color of the background of the shields. That's what we're going to handle today. So I want you to take a look at me, what I've done. I definitely wanted to make sure that I had those them centered where they were supposed to. So I counted the warps and marked marked where the center of those shields are going to be. Okay, so you have a project that has 60 warps. So you have 60 warps that are your pattern warps. Now, if you hung your project like a raven's tail, you are going to have 2 side cords, right? So don't count them. Don't count those side cords in with your 60 pattern warps. You're going to attend to them, always pairing them, and that's where you'll turn. And they will be the same color as the background color. We're not going to make any borders or anything. We're not going to consider that. So anyway, you have 60 warps, and you will count from the outside edge. In order to get to the middle of your project, go in. And of course it's 30, 30, right? And that'll be your middle. And that will produce, you'll have, my thinking is you're going to have 22 warps, which will be your background, 16 warps at the widest point of your shield, will be 16 warps wide, and then on the other side of your shield, the average is the 22. But find that middle, mark it like I did with mine, and that's where we're going to start from. So, welcome. Okay, so I've got a center here, and this is the center where I'm going to work from. I am choosing not to work from this center because for the demonstration of this lesson, going back and forth here wouldn't be a simple back and forth, because I would have to do all of these side braids and then do a row, then come back, do all of these side braids, then do a row. So I'm not going to start demonstrating here at this center of this shield. I'm going to start demonstrating here at this shield, okay? So I know that at this point, this is the center of my shield. I know that it's 16 wide at its widest point. So I know that I have 8 warps on this side and 8 warps on this side that are going to eventually be part of this shield. So I'm going to enter my 2-strand. And there's no science as far as how long your weaving 2-strand color is going to be, whichever is comfortable for handling. It's so easy to add a new 2-strand that I just, it's a detail I never get hooked up on as far as measuring, because if I run low, I'll just measure a new one up and add it, and it's just so easy. So, okay, so I've entered that, and I'm going to weave to the very top of this shield, okay? Now I'm weaving, like I say, I Z twine. So when I'm weaving in the right to left direction, I'm going to take this action one, this back one's the action one. It's going to go over its partner, down where that partner comes up, and behind 2 and up, okay? So that's where I'm going to start. And you can do that too, but it'll be, how many warps will be on this side? It'll be 8 plus 22. I'm pretty sure that's 22. Yes, 8. It'll be 8 plus 22, and then you'll reach the edge of your design area. You'll reach the edge of your project, your edge, or you'll reach to the side chords. And so 8 plus 22, and you'll get to the edge of your project, or 8 plus 22, and then there will be 2 side chords. And so you include those side chords, but don't include them in your count. Okay. You push it right up against the row, the 3-strand row above. And notice that I didn't worry about what was happening in that 3-strand row above. I'm just, you could have started with 1 or you could start with 2, but in this project, you're starting with 2 here. Grabbing 2 warps and enclosing it with your 2-strand. Okay, and now I'm coming to where I'm going to turn, and I call it the Naaxiin turn. And whether you're Z twining or you're S twining, the Naaxiin turn is the same thing. Okay, I get to that. I know that's my center of my shield. So I get there and I'm going to do the Naaxiin turn. So it's this one, this action one. This goes over the one that is reaching the edge there. And it's going to go behind behind 1. See, it enclosed 2. I turn the corner and I'm only going to go behind 1. And that creates that twill, that strong twill. Now, I'm going to take the action one, which is this one now, and it's going to go down where that front one comes up and behind 2. Okay? But notice, it's going under. See how this one is poking up? This one's going to go down and under that and behind 2. And that's the Z action. Okay? And you push it right up against the previous row. And you will not be piggybacking the pair above. You're going to be breaking that pair above into a twill. So this is the Z twining. And this is what every ancient garment, every drawer you'll pull out and examine a robe of the past, it will always be constructed with this Z twining. And you could tell by the slant of the stitches. Now I'm not going to go all the way to where I started. I'm going to be creating a curve. See that upper curve? I'm going to create that curve by going in 1 warp, not going all the way to where I entered, but 1 warp in from there. So I see that that's where I want to turn. So this one is going to go over that one in front. This action one's going over that one. And it's going to go behind only 1 because it's going to break that pair that I just enclosed, and it's going to go and collect and go behind just one warp end. And now it's again, this action one goes over and behind. Over and behind. Over and behind. And now I want to demonstrate the S-twist that some of you do, and that you do it with Raven's tail, and so you'll probably feel comfortable doing it with Naaxiin. And so if you don't want to change your ways or experiment, that's fine. That's your choice. So I'm going to get a different color here. And I'm going to demonstrate the S-twist, okay? So let's say right here, I'm going to go here. And I'm going to enclose 2. So this is from left to right. This action one goes over its partner, behind 2, and up. Now, this back one goes over its partner, down where that first one came up, and behind 2 and up. So over and behind 2 and up. Over and behind 2 and up. And that's the S twining. Over and behind 2 and up. Now, the Naaxiin turn is exactly the same as when you're doing Z. This back one goes over and behind 1 and up. And that's breaking the pair above. Now when you're weaving in this direction, you're going to go under, behind 2 and up. Under, behind 2 and up. Under its partner, down where that front one comes up, behind 2 and up. And if you're referring to the Chilkat book, you need to put a mirror into her illustrations on that Chilkat book, okay? So now we've reached to the point where I had started here. So I don't want to go all the way to where I started. I want to go 1 in from where I started. And no matter if you're on this side or this side, the Naaxiin turn is the same. This back one goes over its partner, around that edge, behind 2 and up. I mean, behind 1 and up, and that establishes the break above. So this one now is going over and behind. Over and behind. Over and behind. Okay, so that was just to show you the difference between the S twine and the Z twine. So I'm going to pick these up. This is going to be part of my robe, what I'm illustrating to you now and demonstrating. So I'm picking these up and I'm going to continue the back and forth. And every time I reach there, I'm going to go in 1 warp because that, like I said, is going to create the curve. And I'm weaving in this direction and I'm weaving Z, so this back one goes over its partner, behind and up. Over its partner, behind and up. So you're working one side of your central shield. And imagine on my project that this would be your edge. And if that's the case, then you go all the way to this edge every time because you're not creating the curve of a shield on your edge. You're just going to go to the edge and turn. It's where you're creating the curve of the shield that you're going to move in 1 warp each time. And here on this side, that's going to be your edge. That will always be, you'll always weave to that edge of your project. And like I said, if you happen to have hung it like a raven's tail, then you'll have the 2 side cords, and you always pair those 2 side cords. Then when you get back onto your pattern area, then it's always going to be right there. Oh, wait. Okay. For me, I'm creating a curve. So let me get back here. So I turned, the first turn was here. Now I got to really examine that. No, I didn't turn yet. So my next turn is 1 in. So just this one I'm going to grab, because it's 1 in from where I had turned last. Now the Naaxiin turn over its partners, and in this case behind 2 to break the pair above, to create a strong twill weaving. And I'm doing that on this side because of course I'm creating that shield, that curve. I'm creating this side of the curve, and on this side I'm creating this side of this curve. Okay? So that is my first lesson, the basic Z twining. This one now goes under its partners, behind 2, and up. Or under that front one, right, and going down right where that front one is going up. This one goes down, behind 2, and up. This action one goes down where this one comes up, and twine. So thank you very much for joining me, and when we come back tomorrow, I will have done this side and continued on this side, and usually I'll just go all the way across and create all of them in the same stage, but for this class I will stick to these shields in this area. Okay, well, thank you very much for joining us, or me.